Tonight, I'm here with
Akosia Oche.
Coming up over the next 90 minutes.
A lot of people have built on our buffer. It's not helping us. So myself and my team, what we intend to do is we are going to take very drastic decisions that will hurt a few, but save a lot of people.
First major flood in Accra this year claims 3 lives, submerges homes and destroys properties. Tonight, for the umpteenth time, we ask, how can Ghana end the annual flooding menace? Also coming up, President John Dramani Mahama petition to reconstitute the committee probing suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu over claims the panel members and lawyer for the petitioner were seen having dinner together and discussing the matter.
The strange meeting of the 4 persons who are keenly interested in and have played and indeed continue to play critical roles initiated in the processes for the removal of the Chief Justice excited the curiosity of some persons in the restaurant.
And later on Eyewitness News, former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia apologizes to Ghanaians for the performance of his government and promises that they will bounce back in 2028.
We got quite a few things wrong. And I think that on my own behalf, on behalf of the party, I apologize for us not getting the things right.
Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and many other stories on Eyewitness News. And in business,
we'll hear from Aboso Kind spare parts dealers who are resisting calls for price reductions on the back of recent Citi gains.
That's in 50 minutes from the Citi Business Desk. Eyewitness News is live across Ghana on a number of affiliate stations in the Western region on Premier 100.5 FM, Beach 105.5 FM, and Sky 93.5 FM. All of them based in Takrady. In the Bono region in Sonyani on Greener 95.9 FM. In Ashanti region in Kumasi on Orange 107.9 FM. In the Eastern region in Somanya on Right 90.1 FM. In Volta region on Holy 98.5 FM. In Aplau. In the Northern region on Dasuma 99.1 FM. In Yendi. In Upper East we are in Zwarungu on Word 88.3 FM. And in Upper West we are on Bugli Radio 88.6 FM. In Uwa. We are live around the country and also around the globe on our website citinewsroom.com and citifmonline.com. We're also on YouTube and on Facebook. Just look for Citi FM and you see what is transpiring in studio as well as listen to the big stories of the day. If you want to join the conversation, the WhatsApp number is 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. Alternatively, you can go on Twitter, now known as X, and mention me or at Citi973 and send your messages there. We'll be reading them for you. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We start off with flooding. Yesterday, it rained in Accra for some 2 or 3 hours and it left in its wake destruction, people who were stranded, and a lot more chaos. Akosia.
The National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, has disclosed that over 3,000 people in Odona have been affected by the flooding caused by Sunday's heavy rainfall. While the area remains one of the most severely impacted in Accra. During a visit to Odona Sahara, NADMO coordinator for the Koliklote Assembly, Hendrik Noble-Kina, explained that the organization has gathered reports to inform its next course of action.
From yesterday night, we started the assessment. So we went through all the municipal areas, flood-prone areas, which everything is fine except Odona, which is flooded and there's problems. You can also see this earth drain. It has been here for a very long time, and this time we are not going to say sorry, but we must fix it. So I'm going to gather the report, and we are supposed to send the report to administration, and administration will take it up and make sure we deal with it. So for now, assessment has been done, report will come out. Then from tomorrow we'll start collecting the debris and the refuse around everywhere. Now it's about, let's say, around 3,000 households.
That was voice of NADMO coordinator for the Koliklote Municipal Assembly, Hendrik Noble-Kina.
So that's Adabraka Sahara area. There are other parts of the country and specifically the national capital that were flooded. Nana Krom, Lakeside Estate, some parts of Adenta, well, many parts of Adenta have been reported to have suffered from the flooding. Medina and several other areas. This morning, Bernard Avles spoke to Ella Esinam Nongo. She is the Municipal Chief Executive for Adentang, and they had a conversation around the problems in Adenta, which problems lead to flooding, and what steps she intends to take to deal with the issue. Listen.
The officers from NADMO, Armed Forces and Fire Service were all on the site. And as I speak to you, some of them are still there and they're trying to gather relief items for our people as we go around again. Myself, the MP, and the officers, like I clearly stated earlier, left there around 12 a.m. to rescue some people who were trapped in their homes.
Oh, so people are actually trapped in their homes?
Yes, please.
Wow. So you mentioned Ashi.
A lot of people have built on our buffers. So that is not helping us. So myself and my team, what we intend to do is we are going to take very drastic decisions that will hurt a few, but save a lot of people.
But these are a lot of areas, so because you mentioned Ashi, Nana Krom, Lakeside, and I think University Farms.
Amrehia, Research, and New Legon.
And these places are all connected. That's a massive area. Have you done an audit to find out what proportion of maybe waterways have been encroached? Do you have any data to show how serious the level of encroachment is, which has occasioned this type of flooding?
For now, no. But by close of the day, we should have it from NADMO and the other officers.
So, beyond the humanitarian response which you are doing, you're saying that you believe some drastic actions like moving houses or demolishing property would have to take place?
Demolition, yes.
That's what you think?
Yes, please, because we can't continue dredging. Dredging alone might not solve the problem.
But do you know if any major dredging was done before you took over? You obviously took over just last 2 weeks.
Yes. Yes.
Was there any major dredging done before you took over?
Yes. Around the Animal Research Enclave.
What about the state of the drains?
We can't keep doing things the same way and expect different results. That's why I said that if drastic decisions are not taken, it would go nowhere. The dredging alone will not be able to solve the problem. When they come, sometimes they don't even come to the assembly for the permit. They meet 1 or 2 people and then they talk to them and they feel they are okay to build. So when you call the planning officer and then the engineer, and you ask them, you question them, they tell you that we don't know about this person. But when you ask the person says he's paid permit or he has permit for whatever he's doing. So like I said, first of all, we would have to get the data, and secondly, we need to take that decision. That decision that will hurt a few but benefits the majority.
So that's Ella Esinam Nongo. She is the Municipal Chief Executive for Adenta, speaking earlier to Bernard Kokwavlo on the Citi Breakfast Show. Let's speak to Richard Ameko. He is Head of Drains and Hydrology Authority. You're welcome to Eyewitness News, sir.
Thank you very much, Sandra.
Drains,
I hope you're fine.
I'm fine. I didn't get stuck in a drain or in the flood last night, so I'm fine. But lots of people in my community were, and I saw on my way to work this morning the wake of destruction. But before that, Drains Hydrology Authority, is that a state institution?
Yes, it's Ghana Hydrological Authority under the Ministry of Works and Housing. We used to be Hydrological Services Department.
Oh, so your name has changed now to Drains Hydrology Authority?
No, it has changed now to Ghana Hydrological Authority.
So you are the head of Drains at Ghana Hydrological Authority?
Yes, Sandra.
Fantastic. So this is what used to be Hydrological Agency?
No, it used to be Hydrological Services Department.
Okay. Good. What's your relationship with NADMO and perhaps the Works Department? How do you put work together?
Thank you very much for this question. I mean, yes, at some point we collaborate, and then we, in terms of flood forecasting, yes, we are always, NADMO is, we always work together with NADMO in terms of flood forecasting. But then the other side also, which is the coastal protection works, and then the drainage side, that one is quite different from the hydrology side in terms of flood forecasting.
Okay, so your mandate is what? Ensuring drains are constructed or ensuring drains are not choked? Your specific mandate,
Yes.
not the whole authority. Explain to me what your mandate is.
Okay, so one, what we do is we undertake design flood. Let me put it this way: flood management. Okay, we put in flood mechanisms. Okay, to control flooding. So, for instance, we are into coastal protection works. We are into storm drainage designs and then supervision as well. And we are into the hydrology side is taking the gauge. We go to these rivers that we have. We monitor and then take data on these rivers, and then we use it for our designs.
So if a road construction is happening, for instance, the motorway project that we are seeing or the Pokwasi highway that we are seeing, do you have to be involved in how the drains would be designed, the width of the drains, the depth and all of that? Is that something you do?
Exactly so. I mean, Sandra, that is exactly, I mean, you're right. But the unfortunate thing is that for these two roads that you mentioned, to the best of my knowledge, we were not involved in terms of the design stage.
Okay, so a lot of road construction happening, new roads and ongoing constructions. Typically, you are suggesting that the Ministry of Roads and Highways or the agency, the Roads and Highways or the Urban Roads Department should be talking, and I'm using this figuratively, talking with you so that you come to some agreement before the construction happens.
Yeah, very well. Ideally, I mean, this major project, hydro plays a very important role in terms of these culverts across the main roads. So then we at the end of the day, when you construct the culverts, it has to discharge to somewhere. Okay, so that is where hydro needs to come in to do all the assessments to see where the outflow, where will discharge the flow into. But then, not to say that there has been some, I mean, collaboration for some time now. We are trying to bridge that gap because we've seen that it's a serious, I mean, issue that we're having as a nation. It's something that we.
What ministry is your authority under?
Ministry of Works and Housing. Now, Ministry Works, Housing and Water Resources.
I see. Okay. Now, the construction of drains happens under Ministry of Roads and Highways, which has Urban Roads and Ghana Highways Authority, and you are under Works Ministry, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about. So you said that there are some collaborations that have happened, but there are some constructions that you do not have collaborations happening. Typically, what do your engineers do? So what do you decide, or what do you design, or what do you instruct construction workers to do?
Okay, so first of all, we identify all the flat prone areas, I mean the hot spots, and then we come out with a design. As I said, we are in charge of the primary and the secondary drains. If I put it that way, I mean, I'm being too technical. I mean, if I say primary drains, let me use the Odo as an example. It's a primary drain that falls in our domain. So basically, that is what we are mandated for. And then the tributaries, the main ones like the Nima drain. I don't know whether you know Paloma area, Nima. That is a secondary drain. It also falls under our jurisdiction. And then if you go to other places, I mean, primary drains, basically that is our mandate.
So you deal with only major drains, or you also deal with small minor drains with culverts?
Yes, it comes in. So we deal with major drains. But then when you go into a community and you're going to construct a major drain, definitely there are small ones that contribute to the bigger one. So what you do is that we take in consideration all those ones as well. But Urban Roads is in charge of these tertiary ones. If I say tertiary, I mean the roadside ones.
Okay. The old Ofanko barrier, that runabout, whenever it rains, the whole place is flooded. Vehicles are submerged. I mean, vehicles are unable to go through. That happened yesterday. Again, if you look at Nanakrom, which is subject of discussion yesterday, there's a major drain that was constructed when the road was being constructed. The water went over the road instead of going under the drains, and that's the same thing that we saw at Ofanko barrier yesterday. What seems to be the problem? And I know there are several other places. In fact, I saw Agbogba where there's a major drain, but the water appeared to have gone over the road. What seems to be the problem in these instances? Is it because the drains are choked or the design was poorly executed? What is the problem?
Okay, thank you very much, Sandra. God be so good. We're also on the field today with the Honorable Minister. We went to the Nanakrom, as you said. There are a lot of factors, that's causing the flooding, or that caused the flooding yesterday. Nanakrom, the culvert is so huge. It's adequate. But the issue is that, people living along the banks, when we wonder what we saw is that there is somebody who is into this bamboo trading. They sell these bamboos. So what happened was the floodwaters went in at the adjoining lands, picked those bamboos, and then use it to cross or to block the culvert. So definitely, once those sticks block the culvert, and then the debris also comes, gradually it builds up. So that is what went over the culvert, and it flooded the road. So what we said was that, people must know that we need to adhere to the buffer definitions for our rivers or our drains. Okay? At least there should be a way, the buffers must be respected. They need to adhere to it. You can't live close to a drain and then to be selling all those things there. You see, some places you go, you see organizers close to the drain. And then when the system overwhelms or the water goes over the banks, there's a possibility that you would pull all those things back into the drain and to go and block somewhere. So then eventually there's going to be a charge, a backwater into the community.
What about Ofanko barrier? Do you know the situation there?
Yes, Ofanko barrier.
The roundabout.
This problem has been there for, if my memory could set me right, basically about 6-7 years now. There used to be a train there before the filling station was sited. I don't know whether you know that Shell filling station.
I do. I was there yesterday.
Okay, exactly. Yes. So there's a drain there which they diverted, and then what they put there is inadequate. Okay, and if you look at the topography very well, that whole place looks like a valley where the roundabout is under the interchange. Okay, so what is happening is that when the water comes from the top, and then the drain there is inadequate, definitely water will settle there for some time. And then what is happening is that, Sandra, if you drive on our highways, you will find these depressions on our highways. You will find places that are very low. And then what is happening is that the drains along these roads are all blocked. They are all filtered. Okay? Due to the sand that gathers along the edges of these roads. And we don't clean them. So if it rains, it will push everything in there.
Which begs the question, why don't we cover our drains?
Okay, so, yes, we can cover our drains. You see all the roads, the highway roadside drains, so they're all covered, isn't it, Sandra? They are not open. Mm-hmm. They're all covered. So this field goes in there. So it means that they would have to lift all the slabs and clean them. This is why I've been saying that it's about time as a nation we take very critical look at our maintenance culture. Okay? We need to clean our drains. Elsewhere, you will see people sweeping, you see them sweeping the roads, but we don't do it. And then this sand that gathers, when you're driving and you're going home, look at these highways. You find a lot of sand gathers at the edges of the roads. So what happens? If it rains, it will push all this into it. It has holes. They've created these holes. So when it rains, it will push everything into the drain. And then now, the water doesn't have anywhere to go. This is what we call flash flood. So if it rains, once the drains are choked, after the rain subsides, you see that then it will start receding. You find that after 1 hour or so, you don't find water on the road again. You see?
Okay.
Yes. So it's about time we need to clean those, roadside drains. We've been having this discussion with highways and urban roads.
Very well.
But they need to look at that, yeah.
Finally, I find it worrying that you are not involved in the motorway reconstruction or construction in the Pokwase, Amasaman, and Sawam highway. How bad is that going to be, or how problematic is that going to be, that if you are not involved, what consequences are there in the future?
Okay, so what we did was, when we saw them constructing those culverts, I think we approached them, okay? But the issue is that, as I said before, the road construction, they just put in the culvert, and they don't know where water goes next. So then they say, Hydro, that is your mandate now. You need to go and check and then design and then know where to discharge the water. But then it's something that we have had discussions on it, which we are trying to have a headway to this situation. And I think we are having a very fruitful discussion way forward.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you, Sanda. Sanda, I know you always talk about Kaswa wager. Yesterday you didn't hear anything like that, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. God went there and forgive them and
exactly.
Or you got something right.
Sandra, if you to drive there, you see what we are doing there.
The new drains. So you're saying that the new drains there worked?
Yes, we are working there seriously. And this Kaswa toll booth. There used to be a head. Anytime there's even a shower of rain, the whole sun gathers from the top and then comes onto the road. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I am. So, are you not celebrating too early though? Are you sure that you have fixed this permanently for good?
Of course. If had it not been that, you would have heard that the roads, Kaswa toll booths, there is this issue there. It's also a thing of the past now.
Very well.
So we are trying our best.
Okay. The problem has moved to Adenta, so please focus there too. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Sandra, Adenta issue. It's I don't know. You see, the micro ponds that we have in Adenta municipality, they are all gone. Sandra, they are all gone.
You mean the ponds that will receive the water from the rain or the flood?
Absolutely, from the hills. And people are developing the source, which is the Ebri Hills. Okay, sorry, the Ebri Mountain. Ayimensa area, Danfa. People are developing the hills. So what is happening is that so much flow comes from there to the community at the foot of the hill. You get it? So before then, there were some micro ponds all over. They filled all is, we don't even find any. So what happens is that the water gets there, instead of a place to sit, then it flows into people's homes. That is why the Fulani detention pond there is incapacity. Do you get it? That is a challenge that we are having now.
Very sad. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you so much, Sanda.
That's Richard Ameko. He's head of drains at the Ghana Hydrological Authority. Talking about Denton, Fauzu Masaudu of the Citi Newsroom has been following a team of NADWO and other government officials that has been doing a tour of some flood-affected areas, and I believe they went to Adenta. Fauzi, you're welcome to Eyewitness News. Which other areas did you go to today?
Yeah, thank you very much, Sanda. So essentially, all the areas we've been visiting now within the Adenta enclave, we've been to Lakeside Room 6 area, we've been to Lakeside Community 5, we've been to New Legon, we've been to Nanakrom as well.
What was the level of devastation that you saw and destruction that you saw?
Sanda, it's heart-wrenching. When we got there, clearly the water had receded, but the affected residents were scooping the water out of their homes. Those who were able to salvage a few items were also cleaning them up. For staff, the livelihood of shop owners and business operators, they are literally gone. And even more heart-wrenching is that we visited one of the homes that had recorded a loss of life. One man we understand was a Nigerian, and yesterday he drowned. The residents said they had to look on while he did because all efforts to rescue him were unsuccessful. So he drowned from his home and then was trapped in another uncompleted building just beside him. This dawn at 4 a.m. We understand the police came over to retrieve his body for further investigation.
Who are the people you're traveling with, and what have they been saying?
So I've been going around with a joint task force that comprises the Member of Parliament for Adentan, that's Adamu Ramadan, the Municipal Chief Executive itself, the Minister for Works and Housing, Gilbert, Honorable Gilbert Ankara as well. So these are the teams that have been going around, and some officials from NADMO within the Adentan locality. And what they have been saying so far is that they are clearing their mind. For instance, the Minister for Works and Housing said he is very clear in their mind that the decisive action which needs to be done now is to implement in full force the President's plan to embark on a demolition exercise of structures that have been put up on waterways, if you like, across the region.
Thank you, Fauzu. Do take care of yourself, and see you back in the office soon.
All right, thank you so much.
That's Fauzu Masawudu of the Citi Newsroom. Let's hear from the Ghana Meteorological Agency now. Felicity Ahafianyo is head of the Central Analysis and Forecast Office at the Ghana Meteo. She has been speaking to Citi News, and she is calling on the public to regularly check weather forecasts at the agency's website and social media platforms. Listen to her.
From the GMET website, Ghana Meteorological Agency, we have a column that you have the 3 times daily weather updates, and then we have the weekly, the midweek, and the weekend, and we also have the seasonal forecast there. You can also link with us on our Facebook page. Every time also we update it every 6 hours. That is also there. And then you can also get to us on the Instagram, and then on YouTube, and then also on TikTok with Ghana Meteorological Agency.
So that's Felicity Ahafianyo. She's the head of Central Analysis and Forecast Office at the Ghana Meteorological Agency. Now, the Meteo Agency is asking you to be ready and is warning that we should expect more rains in the coming weeks. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are coming to you from our studios in Accra. I am Omar Rosandamad here with Akosia Otri. From the devastating story of flooding, let's do some litigation matters. And you do recall that there's a committee that was set up by the President to investigate or probe the suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Esaba Tokonu. Now, that committee started its work last week, and a few days into its sitting, in fact, after its first sitting, there's a petition to the President asking that the committee not be reconstituted, but rather dissolved. This is the Gabriel Puaman-led committee investigating the former Chief Justice, or the suspended Chief Justice, I beg your pardon. That committee has Justice Gabriel Scott Puaman, has Justice Samuel Adibu Esiedu, Daniel Yadomelovo, Major Flora Bawanzuna Dalugo, and Professor James Sefa Jisa as members. Who has petitioned, and why is the person petitioning? Hansen, you're welcome to Eyewitness News. Hansen is a member of the Citi Newsroom. He's been looking at the petition. Hansen, you're welcome.
Thank you, Sander.
Who is this petitioner, and what is he saying in summary?
So the petitioner is Alfred Ababiokumi. He was NPP parliamentary election aspirant in Adenta in the 2020 election. He also attempted contesting in 2024 election. Basically, he's first seeking to notify the President of some actions of some of the members of the committee investigating the suspended Chief Justice, as well as a lawyer who is linked to one of the petitioners. And he says that the actions of these members are not good for the good for the proceedings of the committee. In his view, they raise issues of unfairness and possible bias on the part of the members of the committee. So the specific details he gives is that in the evening of May 15, 2025, between 7:30 and 8:30 p.m., Justice Gabriel Puaman and Justice Samuel Kwame Adibu Esiedu, together with Justice Jenny Kalendi of the Supreme Court, were seen having dinner with the counsel for one of the petitioners before the committee, which is Thaddeus Sorry, at a restaurant at Airport Residential Area. Now he goes ahead to give the status and the interest of these persons who were having their meeting, and he says that both Justice Asiedu and Justice Foreman are members of the panel who've been set up to inquire into the petitions against the Chief Justice. He says that if you look at Justice Gabriel Foreman, he has given judgments in favor of one of the petitioners, that is Daniel Ofori, who is represented by Thaddeus Sorry in that same case, and also in the petitions against the Chief Justice. He goes to say that Justice Foreman was interested in becoming a Chief Justice before during the election of the President of Ghana at the moment, that is John Dramani Mahama. He goes to now identify Justice Jenny Kulendi as somebody who was a close rival to Justice Gertrude Tokono, the suspended Chief Justice, for the position of Chief Justice when it became vacant. He says Justice Jenny Kulendi lobbied vigorously for that position but was disappointed by President Akufo-Addo. Now he goes ahead to also say that Justice Samuel Kwame Edibu Asiedu is on record to have been one of those who actively lobbied to be Chief Justice after the exit of Justice Anini Yeboah. So he's saying that if you look at these persons, there are people who, one way or the other, have taken a shot at becoming Chief Justice but failed. And so the ongoing proceedings, in his view, are in their interest. And he says that at that particular meeting, the strange meeting of the four persons who are keenly interested in and have played and indeed continue to play critical roles initiated in processes for the removal of the Chief Justice excited the curiosity of some persons in the restaurant. Indeed, they were overheard discussing matters relating to the petition. And so this is one of the points, that they discussed matters relating to the petition. Okay. And he says that this is not good for the overall proceedings that are ongoing seeking to remove the Chief Justice. As a result of that, he's seeking for the dissolution of the committee.
Very well. Thank you so much, Hansen Ajiman, with a summary of the petition that has been sent to the President. Alfred Abebi Okumi, aka Adenta Kumi, is the petitioner. He's joining me on the line. You're welcome to Eyewitness News, sir.
Thank you, my brother.
Confirm.
Good evening to your terrorist listeners.
Good evening to you. Confirm that you sent this petition and whether or not the petition has been received.
Yes, I sent the petition today at 16:13 GMT.
4:13 p.m.
Yes, 4:13 p.m. today.
And was it received at the Jubilee House?
Yes, it was received at the Jubilee House, and a copy of the letter was signed and received by a lady called Asantua with her details, which I have with me now.
I see. Okay. Now, what is wrong with people going to eat dinner at Santoku restaurant? I mean, you are now engaging in what, stalking? That's what you are doing, so that wherever Justice Gabriel Kwama is eating his dinner, you would go there and nose around and say that he's having dinner with wrong people. What's wrong with them having dinner?
No, Omaro, we have to put matters in perspective. But I would love to answer some of these questions. But out of respect for the office of the President and the seriousness of this constitutional process, I do not wish to go into the specifics of it. But if we have matters of the removal of a Chief Justice, which we know is a serious constitutional matter, some of these things must be clearly looked at in order that the process does not become a sham for anyone. So, as I said, out of respect, I would love to speak about these matters when the President has finally looked at it and given us a response.
Okay, fair enough. But just one more thing before you go. Were you the one who spotted them, or you were told that they were seen eating dinner together, and that's why you were alarmed?
Everything we have is in the petition. Everything we have is inside the petition. And as a chief petitioner, I believe that we are ready to answer when the president calls to us to provide every evidence that they are looking for.
I don't see in the petition that it was you who saw them. So I wanted to know if you saw them or you were told that they were seen together at the Santoku restaurant.
When we are called upon, we'll give all the evidence that we have.
Oh, okay. I'm asking this because you have said in part of the paragraphs that the record of the presence of the four, namely Justice Puaman, Yoni Kulendi, Asiedu, and lawyer Thaddeus Sori at the restaurant and the meeting they had can easily be verified and confirmed. So I was under the impression that
the restaurant can easily verify it. When you go to the restaurant, that's why I gave inside the petition, all the details are there. When you go to the restaurant and you ask for this date, the time, and everything, all the evidence is there.
But do you have video? Do you have video evidence of them sitting there having dinner?
That's what I'm saying. That when the time is up, it's like I don't want to jump the gun, and I want to give the best of respect to the office of the president. When the president responds, all these issues are going to come out.
Very well. So you don't want a re-empaneling. You are asking for a dissolution completely of the committee.
I think that would be the best to save our country. That would be the best. At this point in time, that would be the best.
Thank you for speaking to us.
Best. Thank you.
That's Alfred Abebi Okumi, also known as Adenta Kumi, former NPP parliamentary aspirant for the Adentan constituency, who was petitioning the president asking that he should dissolve the committee set up under Article 1466 of the Constitution to inquire into a petition against the Chief Justice Gertrude Isaba Tokonu. And he says that Justices Gabriel Scott Puaman, Justice Samuel Adibu Asiedu, Daniel Yaodomelevo, Major Flora Bazwanura Daluga, and Professor James Sefajis have been members of that committee. That committee should be dissolved, and his reason is that some of them were seen. I will read for you the paragraph that lives there. He said, in the evening of 15th May 2025, between 7:30 and 8:30 p.m., Justices Gabriel Puaman and Samuel Kwame Adibu Asiedu, together with Justice Yoni Kulendi of the Supreme Court of Ghana, were seen having dinner with the counsel for one of the petitioners before the committee, Mr. Thaddeus Sori, at the Santoku restaurant located at Villaggio Airport Residential Area, Accra. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
Are you ready to lead like never before?
Ready to master the art of strategy and inspire teams that thrive?
It's the Management Bootcamp 2025.
An exclusive high-impact training for mid to senior pros.
Learn from Ghana's finest industry minds, brought to you by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM.
From the trusted voices of excellence, Citi FM and Channel 1 TV comes an elite training experience designed to sharpen your strategy, leadership, and communication.
Make a date for the Management Bootcamp 2025 from Sunday the 22nd of June to Saturday the 28th of June 2025. The venue is the Platinum Bay and Passion Base Hotels.
Call 0242-011-424 to register now.
The Management Bootcamp 2025. Lead forward. The Management Bootcamp 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 Citi FM.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. Let's do some more stories. And the minority on Parliament's Finance Committee is questioning what it calls a conflict of interest involving the committee's chairman, Isaac Adongo, who also serves on the board of the Bank of Ghana. Well, they argued that Adongo's dual role raises concerns about the independence of the committee and presents a structural conflict. Or speaking to Citi News, Inshiaso Member of Parliament, Dr. Stephen Amwa, said the minority is probing both the legal and ethical grounds for the MP holding both positions at the same time.
We need to do the needful. We need to, if we have to amend the laws to make it possible for him to be there, well, because he's competent. But if we cannot, we need to adhere to the laws of the course. One of the most important factors that all over the world is considered to be a definitional element of a very stable society, rule of law and democracy. It's about adhering to the law, making sure that the very law that confers on us our positions and our discretionary powers, we go by the law. So that is what we are trying to say. And I think we need to look at that. Maybe it was an oversight, but the Finance Committee has the oversight responsibility. And Honorable Adongo, of course, very competent, is the chair, and the same Honorable Adongo is also Bank of Ghana's board member. Definitely, nobody should tell us that this is very conflicting. And the law is very explicit.
You heard that the Member of Parliament for Inshiaso, Dr. Stephen Amwa.
Let's speak to a member of the Adongo-led Finance Committee of Parliament and MP for Sanarigu, the Honorable Atta Issa. You're welcome to Eyewitness News, sir.
Thank you, Umaru. Good evening to your listeners.
Good evening to you too. The rain yesterday, did it get to the north? Did it affect your constituency?
Not really.
Oh, great. Yes. Okay, lucky you. Your committee chair stands accused of being a judge in his own cause, and that he is on one breath a member of the board of the Bank of Ghana, and on the other hand, he's also a member of a committee that's supposed to be regulating the Bank of Ghana. How does he play from both sides of the pipe?
So let me once again say good evening to you and to your listeners. I think these days it has become so usual of the minority to raise issues in the public. I think that the Honorable Adongo was appointed as the chairman of the Finance Committee, and we have been conducting business from January up till now, and there has not been even one single issue on the concerns raised by the minority in terms of conflict of interest. So first of all, let me take it this way. All the things that they had said, they could not point to one legal provision that this appointment breached. So there is no constitutional or statutory provision that explicitly prohibits a sitting member of parliament, including a chairman of a committee, from serving on the board of Bank of Ghana. There is no such provisions in our laws. If you come to Article 71 office holders, in this case, even MPs, they are not automatically barred from holding board positions unless specified by law. And in this case, the Act establishing Bank of Ghana did not bring such restrictions. So if the law permits such appointments, then moral or political arguments must not override the legality without due process. So for me, I think that one, there is no foundation on their claims. They are raising issues of ethics. First of all, it is the chairman of the Finance Committee who must make that call in terms of separating his roles and considering his integrity. Number one, the MP, despite being the Finance Committee chair, can himself distinguish between his legislative oversight functions and his fiduciary duties as a board member. Holding both roles does not automatically imply compromise independence. And in fact, he made it clear on our first meeting when he was appointed as the board member of the Bank of Ghana that when issues of Bank of Ghana come before the Finance Committee, and he knows that he was part of the decision-making process of the decision of the Bank of Ghana that has been brought to the Finance Committee, he will recuse himself. So the man himself has made it clear that he can distinguish between the roles of the two distinct entities. Number two, members of parliament often serve on board. In fact, yesterday, a gold board was officially outdoored. We all know that the gold board is under the finance ministry. But you see the deputy finance minister, also a member of parliament, serving on the gold board. So we have examples of such things, Citi, health insurance, and there have never been any instance of people raising conflict of interest in the above boards that has been constituted, or even in previous administration. And number 3, let's look at this even from the value judgment point of view. His role in Parliament provides valuable insights to us, and we all know in terms of Honorable Adongo's contribution to fiscal policies and monetary policies. So bringing it on board would provide a concrete oversight responsibility on the entire government fiscal policies and the Bank of Ghana monetary policy. That's a blend of experience that the country as a country we can tap into. And there is no practice also that suggests that people in the past have resigned merely because they've been chairman of a committee or they've been made a board member. This is not even a board chair of an institution. This is just a member. And a member, you are not even obliged to partake in decisions when you think it is conflicting with that of your original authority. First of all, he is a member of Parliament before being considered for any other thing. So the oversight responsibility is his primary duty. And I think that anything that comes to question that decision, he will rescue himself from that. So I don't think that instead of attacking the personality of Honorable Adongo, I think they should rather ask for calls for reforms. The fact that if they think that if you are a member of Parliament, and you already know, Umaru, that there are discussions on making members of Parliament not forming part of executive to ensure independent oversight responsibility. But if that cause has come, that no member of Parliament should serve on governing boards, or no member of Parliament should become ministers of state, then that conversation can be had.
Okay.
But
so,
you cannot be raising smoke over nothing.
So you're saying that legally he has done nothing wrong, but the issue would be about morality. So do you not think that you would have saved everybody the problem if you had put anybody else on the board of the BOG, not the chairman of the finance committee? Because when you talk about he recusing himself when he has to do BOG matters, that's a big deal. I mean, BOG would be one of the biggest entities that the finance committee would have oversight on. And
Yes.
they may recall how in the last parliament there was consistent attempt to bring the BOG governor to come and then answer questions before the House of Parliament. Now, if the chairman who is supposed to be inviting the BOG boss is working with the BOG boss, he will be conflicted clearly, and he may not be able to do that job to the best of his ability. Perhaps that's why this call is being made from a borough point of view.
In fact, that is even a hypothetical situation you are creating. In the first place, the finance committee is not made up of only members of Parliament from the NDC. This is a joint membership. Both NDC and then the MPP members of Parliament form part of the finance committee. And I'm not sure the decisions of the finance committee on providing proper oversight on fiscal and monetary policies of government rest entirely on Honorable Isaac Adongo. I don't think so. We are all independent-minded people on that committee with proven credibility and track record. So if we think that the direction in which Honorable Isaac Adongo, the chairman of the finance committee, is taking us will lead us into losing the essence of our democracy, that is providing oversight responsibility over the executive, I think that we are mature enough to take that decision by ourselves. So my issue is not even about the ethics. As for ethics, it is the point of view of the person making the call. I don't begrudge them if they make issues of ethics. But I'm saying that instead of making this at a press conference, what we should rather call for is a broader discussion on the way forward as to how to remove the entire independence or guarantee independence of members of Parliament. But if such thing has not even come, we can't even be talking about hypothetical situations.
Very well.
But I know that Honorable Isaac Adongo is just one out of many other board members. And I don't think, in fact, if you follow the media, recently, as a board member, he made a comment suggesting that even withdrawals of dollars at the counter was being restricted by Bank of Ghana. I don't know whether you followed it.
Yes, and the BOG came to embarrass him. I followed that.
I won't call it embarrass. Maybe they came to share a different position. So it just demonstrated that even on the Bank of Ghana, there are independent other members who can know and see the lines between conflict of interest and morality.
Very well. Thank you.
So that's what I would say about it.
Thank you for speaking to us. Atta Issa Honorable is Member of Parliament for Sanarigu and member of the Finance Committee. of Parliament. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, former Vice President, a former flag bearer of the NPP presidential candidate in the last election, has been speaking. Of course, you'll tell us more.
Yes, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has publicly apologized to members of the New Patriotic Party for the party's disappointing performance in the last elections. While speaking at a meeting with NPP members in London, Dr. Bawumia acknowledged that the NPP made several missteps which contributed to substantial losses in key constituencies. He added that the party will bounce back stronger to win the 2028 elections.
We didn't get everything right. MPP did a lot of work, there's no doubt about it, but we did not get everything right. We got quite a few things wrong. And I think that on my own behalf, on behalf of the party and the government, I apologize to all of you for us not getting the things right that we should have gotten. We didn't get anything right. I believe that if by the grace of God we have another opportunity, I believe that we will get many things right because we've learned the lessons of where we are going. I believe that 2028 MPP is going to come back into government. I believe so. I believe so. There are a few reasons why I'm so convinced about this. Firstly, if you look at our political history suggests that it is usually very difficult for a first-time presidential candidate to win an election in Ghana. I don't know why that is, but Ghanaians want you to come more than one. So there is a sense that in 2028, NDC is going to bring a candidate for the first time. I believe we will have an advantage, all things being equal, over that new candidate coming in 2028. I believe we will have a very big advantage. The second set of reasons that I believe we are going to win is because NDC is actually in government. Why do I say so? In opposition, they made so many promises and told a lot of stories about what they were going to do. And they've now come into government. It's not easy to do propaganda when you are in government. It's very easy to do propaganda in opposition. So they told so many lies in opposition. They said that when they come, they will bring down the cost of kinky and the cost of living. I don't know. Have you noticed the reduction in kinky prices in Ghana? No.
That's Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, former Vice President and presidential candidate of the NDC in the last election. Dennis Miracles Abuaji is aide to the former Vice President. He's joined us on the line. Sir, welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Maro.
Is it not too early for the former Vice President to be talking about the reduction of prices? I mean, you left us in this mess to begin with.
I don't think it's too early. I mean, you had the former Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, clearly. He was referring to a group of people who thrive on propaganda, especially when they were in opposition. And he was quite emphatic that you cannot do propaganda in government. And I'll give you a few pointers. We've been playing a few videos of some members of this government, cabinet members, and things they said while they were in opposition. And those things are not things that you would say they are too early. The energy minister emphatically says that you vote for us when we come to power within 100 days would fix every mess that is at ECG and cut down on all the losses that they're having. We are yet to see that. He's complaining about money and crying all over the place. You have the communications minister, Honorable Sam George, setting up a committee in his first few days in office and saying that within 14 days, this committee should get back to him with a report and data prices are going to go down. In fact, he said in opposition emphatically that nobody should blame the telcos for the high cost of data, and that it was the Honorable Esla Wusu who was the cause and the reason for high cost of data. It's been over 90-something days since he set up his committee. Data prices are still high. As we speak today, in the last 120 days, we have seen cement prices shoot by an increase of 45 cedis in the last 120 days. So If the vice president is saying that you cannot do propaganda in government, that is fact. And that in government you would have no other excuse than to fix the situation and do what it is that you say you will do. And so he didn't say it in vacuum. He said it within the context of the group of people we are referring to.
Okay, but Mr. Miracles Abuaji, it's interesting you didn't mention the Citi, which has done so well or is doing so well that we haven't seen the impact. So Ghana Union of Traders Association has asked for members to reduce the prices of their goods. Oka Deco, a major company that does retail and wholesale business in Accra and in fact Ghana, did a reduction last week. Electroland, you do know, producers of NASCO, Samsung and all of those, has also announced today that they are doing a CDR picky depreciation promo. These are tangibles that this government can point to. Why are you not, celebrating that and rather interested in that?
I'm sure you and I are very active on social media, and you acknowledge that I personally have said that I would not take any credit away from this government when it comes to the issue of Citi. I would not. I am of the firm belief and view that the government of the day is responsible for the performance of our currency. And so today, if the currency is doing well and the NDC is taking the credit, I won't take it away from them. We would do the same appraisal when it's getting high. But you see, we are not going to go down this lane. We are going to deal with the issues. The real tangibles are not Okadeco and Electroland. Okadeco and Electroland are not in the measure. Okadeco, Electroland, Cap Farm and Co., they run all manner of promos for a very long time, and all this while we've been enjoying it. You would recall that in the year 2020, 2022, 2023...
But this one, they connected it to the CDO. They said CDO.
You hang on. Buta has consistently been calling on their traders to reduce prices. This is not the first time you've heard Guta calling on their members to reduce prices. Go to your own Citi Newsroom portal and go and do a search. You'd realize that in the year 2023, Guta called on their members to reduce prices. 2021, 2022, 2024. It is something that Guta does. But you don't reduce prices by directives and by issuing notices. That is not how prices are reduced. Let me also remind you that this is not the first time we are seeing the CD appreciating within the first quarter or the first 5 months. In fact, same time last year, in May 2024, the CD was almost around the same value as we are seeing today. Until between June and September, it went south again. So I think we need to take it easy. The reality of the Ghanaian people are the issues that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is raising. And those are the issues that the government of the day raised when they were in opposition. What is the price of kinky? What is the price of oil? What is the price of salt? What is the price of tomatoes? What is the price of gari? These are the things that are universal to the set. These are the things that are universal to the set. The other things like Okadeco and all of those things, those can be put aside and put in another set. The universal set are the commodities that the day-to-day Ghanaian person needs to be able to survive. Are those things coming down? Have you seen them coming down, or you see them going up?
Okay.
The prices of building materials have been going up, shooting up. And those are the things that we need to talk about. Remember, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is not saying it in vacuum. Let me put it on record. He is saying it simply on the back of the words of the same government people when they were in opposition.
Thank you.
They set the timelines for themselves.
Thank you for speaking to us.
They set the KPIs for themselves. And the vice president is simply asking them to just simply keep their eyes on the ball and fix the situation.
Thank you so much. That's Dennis Miracles Abuaji. He's aide to former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Up next is Business News. And then on Point Blank, my guest is Walasi Kweli. He's Member of Parliament for Afram Plains North. We'll be talking about that area and his decision to caucus with the NDC even though he went independent. Please stay.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Google me. At what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car? No, I don't change my car. It be the same, right? It be the fuel where I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so. This is the type of fuel where they want to. Cause now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir. Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. better. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. One pair way now open there.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a feel the gobe too small.
The go-go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Charlie, where are you?
Boss man, I'm at the bank.
Really? But your car is in front of your house.
Bro, my bank on my phone, Charlie.
Oh, how?
EcoBank, bro. With EcoBank mobile app, I can do everything, anywhere, anytime. Listen, I just checked my account balance, paid Ahmed's school fees, and sent money to my grandma at Wale.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Massa, just download the EcoBank mobile app from the Google Play Store or the App Store, or dial *770# and be your own bank manager.
Manager.
Whether to pay bills or fees, to check account statements, send money across Ghana, abroad, and more, EcoBank mobile app has got it covered. EcoBank Mobile, making everyday people live everyday lives the EcoBank way. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
New Kivo Hot Pepper Powder. Loco shoe. This advert is FDA approved. Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
Hello there, welcome to the Monday edition of the Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. I'm Makosia Ochi. The details. Now, spare parts dealers at Aboso Kanya pushing back against calls to reduce prices despite the recent appreciation of the Ghana cedi against the US dollar. Well, the dealers argue that their currency inventory was purchased at higher exchange rates, making price reductions economically not viable for now. Or the opposition contrasts with a directive from the Spare Parts Dealers Association, which has urged the members to pass on the gains to consumers. Some traders in the enclave tell Citi Business News that price adjustments will only be possible at restocking at current rates.
I ordered my goods 4 months ago and the goods has come. I paid the duty and then now the goods is inside, I'm selling it. Unless I sell the one which I have already ordered finished before I can reduce the goods, because now if I haven't ordered new one, so I can't reduce the price, so that if I reduce the price, I'm going to lose my job.
With these directives that they bring into the system, telling us to reduce our products.
That was a section of spare parts traders at Abosokan rejecting calls for price reductions over the recent cedi gains. Away from that, economist and senior lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Patrick Isume, has expressed concern over the slow implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area after what he wants that the continent risks missing a crucial opportunity to boost intra-African trade.
It's clear that we have not yet managed to roll out the African Continental Free Trade Arrangement properly. You know, the start of trading has been hampered, even though we are trying to kickstart it. But, you know, I think if we are able to implement it, then it will go a long way in helping African countries to look within. If you notice that trade among African countries is relatively low. And because others know that we depend on them for both as markets as well as feeding their industries, I think it makes it easier for them to get up one day and give us programs and policies that don't work.
That was Professor Patrick Isume, senior lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, making the remarks during the opening of the CADA School of the Third World Network Africa. Away from that, a 13-member board of directors has been inaugurated for the Ghana Gold Board with a mandate to sustain currency stability and strengthen the economic fundamentals of the country. Finance Minister Dr. Kasiala Toforsin, who swore in members of the board, highlighted the city's 16% appreciation against the US dollar, credited coordinated fiscal and monetary policies, improved forex inflows, and record high reserves. Well, the newly appointed board is chaired by Kojo Finn and is expected to uphold good governance and deliver on its mandate under the Gold Board Act. Well, that's how we wrap up the Monday edition of the City Business News on Eyewitness News. I'm Akosia Orchidu. Stay with us. Up next is Point Blank.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Afternoon.
Oh, afternoon.
Please, Momo.
Deposit or withdrawal?
Withdrawal.
Ah, I like how you say withdrawal. How much?
500 Ghana.
Well, I'll cash out.
Yes.
I feel ball number no mami why.
0241 789.
Ah, nice one. Approve.
Please, the agent's name, is it Mipesika Bebre to Coin Ventures?
Hey, into what body you now?
She. My let I have to verify.
Always confirm the name of the person you are receiving money from before accepting a request. If you receive a request from a friend to send money to an unfamiliar number, call to confirm before taking action. Do not share your number with strangers for the purpose of receiving e-cash in exchange for physical cash, because the source could be criminal and result in legal actions against you.
MTN.
Babalono Ankasa Polytank is everywhere, durable and authentic. Stronger brand you can trust. Polytank, we get some more Rambo and get some more super. And the Polytank we did Polytank. Babalono Ankasa Polytank, the original, always the best.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Gugomi, at what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I don't change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind says be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open there.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish Magobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand Magobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
Go!
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
This is Point Blank on Eyewitness News. My name is Umaru Sandamado. My guest tonight is the Member of Parliament for Afram Plains North, the Honorable Walasi Kweli. He's a first-time Member of Parliament. You're welcome to Point Blank.
Thank you.
How are you?
By grace, I'm doing better than good.
Better than good. I like that expression. You would have been an NDC Member of Parliament, if not for something.
Exactly so.
But you are de facto NDC now in Parliament, even though you are not.
You're right.
Yeah. So you are working with them, you are caucusing with them.
You're right.
Family matters. You couldn't solve your problem until you went to the election.
No, family matters, even after election, have been solved.
So you've solved it now. But you could have prevented. You could have.
We're still on our way.
But your party technically lost that seat because of Are you still a member of the NDC?
I'm a de facto member of the NDC.
Did you have to give back your party card when you went independent, or was a party?
No.
So you still have your party card?
I have my party card. Yeah.
But does your party say that once you run independent, you are not a party member, or the law is not clear?
I know the law is not clear on that.
So you have a party card, but you went independent, told the people of Afram Plains that vote for me.
Mahamazu Beliza.
That's how you were campaigning.
Yes.
So imagine if we had a 137 situation.
I would still have been NDC.
Are you sure?
Yes, exactly.
What if MPP were in the majority and NDC was in minority, but Mahama had won the ZAC?
I have a conviction, and this conviction stems from the people I represent and what they want and what they want me to stand for.
What was the problem? Or you think water has gone under the bridge, you don't want to discuss it?
Yes, exactly. So if we want to go that lane, we might go back to...
You open old wounds?
Yes.
But the person the NDC put up as their candidate, what's your relationship with him like?
I have not seen her, I've not spoken to her.
Do you have a fight?
It has not been an open fight, it has then been a Cold War.
Cold War. Because, of course, you were all eyeing the same seat.
Exactly.
So it means that in 2024, Afram Plains, the contest was between Peli and the NDC candidate, not the MPP candidate.
Yeah, the MPP candidate was also looking for his way through...
In the middle?
Yes.
He could have won?
He wouldn't.
Why?
Afram Plains had never been anything MPP.
What was the margin of victory for the NDC in the past? Like how
it had been 2,000 against 30,000
Are you
against
serious?
40,000. Yes.
So that's like 90%, 80%
But in
thereabout.
2020, they appreciated to approximately 10,000.
10,000 votes.
Yes.
Against your 40 or 30,000.
And then we came down to 17,000.
Oh, okay. But this time, what was your win margin like?
459.
You got 4,500.
No, 11,000.
You got 11,000 votes.
Yeah, 11,000. 459.
And your opponent got what?
I think 10,000.
Oh, so just 1,000 difference.
Yes, it's not that great.
And the MPP candidate got what?
1,000.
That's not fair. This is not fair. What
so
kind
you see, that tells you the dynamics of Afram Plains. Afram Plains had never been an MPP pro, and it was somewhere from 2016 when I first contested into 2020 that voters thought something was going wrong.
So you ran as parliamentary candidate in 2020?
2016.
You lost.
The primaries.
And you lost?
Yes.
And you didn't go independent?
No.
2020, did you run?
Yes, I did.
And you didn't go independent?
Yes. Even 2016 we were 6. 2020 we were 2.
And then 2024, you ran again, yes, and you lost.
I didn't even run. We never had a context.
And that's why you decided to go independent.
You're taking me back into the woods.
Forgive me. I didn't even plan. I didn't plan to open your old doors. I'm just trying to remember what happened.
Windows opens doors.
I know, right? It's a problem. So when you click on Windows, doors will open. Okay. So you decided. Did the party ask you not to run at the time?
No, I never had any direct conversation with the party. It was all sideline kicks.
Have you been a party leader, executive in the constituency before?
Yes, exactly.
What were you?
A branch executive.
Branch executive. But you were very confident.
As young as 19, out of training college, teaching in Afram Plains.
So you're a teacher?
Yes, I'm a teacher.
Which of the Afram Plains are you from? Because I know there's Afram Plains South and North. You are from the North.
Yes.
Which ones? Is that the Donkokrom place?
Yes, the capital is Donkokrom.
Donkokrom. And what other major towns do you have?
We have resettlement towns, very resettlement towns like Amankwa-Krom, Memchamfre, and Tonaboma. Then we have the Dwarf Island, which is quite a big place, made up of about approximately 150 communities, and then the Dija Island, also about 100 communities.
I have never been to Afram Plains, but in my head, if you live in Afram Plains, it's better for you to own a canoe or a boat than to own a car, correct?
Exactly so.
So you move from island to island?
Yes.
What's the population like, and what do people do there?
Population is approximately 60,000.
This just for North?
For North.
And Donkokrom is not an island, it's a major town?
It's a major town.
And you move between these places by boat or by canoe?
Yeah, so we categorized the North in 3 subsets. We have the Dwarf Island, the Dija Island, and the inland. So Donkokrom falls within the inland, which is quite motorable with car, though not any smooth places like driving to one of the rugged places in Accra, but that's our smoothness.
But you have asphalt roads?
Not even a third road.
I wish people saw your reaction. You don't have asphalt road?
Not even a third road, so don't go asphalt.
No bitumen road?
No.
In the whole district?
No.
You are a district, right?
Yes.
As well as a constituency?
That's it.
Or the whole Afram Plains one district?
It started with one district and 2 constituencies.
Okay, that's
and later on splits into 2 districts, 2 constituencies.
So Afram Plains North is a district and also a constituency.
Yes.
You don't have a single third road.
No.
But you have gravel road, those kind of things. As in like feeder.
It's
those
muddy road.
They
are all mud.
As in clay, bush road, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So
you don't have gravel road, like a mudging, like when you're on it, dust. How do you call dust?
It can't be anything compared to that, because let me tell you, what you are asking for was made some years ago during the PNDC Rollins era. And that is when even the electricity found its way into our front plains.
The gravel road?
Yes, the gravel road.
But right now it's all deteriorated.
See, as the years went by, in order to maintain it, the graders started grading off the gravels, and now the road itself has sunk into the soil. And
so now when you are using, it's just like a farm track.
Yes, that's it. Exactly so. Your description is right.
That sounds scary.
I wish you could. I was there this weekend with the Deputy Agric Minister, and anytime you find him around, ask him exactly what I'm saying. He was shocked himself.
Which means that a tractor would be better for you. Marty Ferguson tractor would be better for you.
It used to be a bus of the old days.
So the tractor with the container, the trailer at the back.
Yes.
That's what people used to.
That was what we used.
This is something I knew in the late 90s, early 2000s in my village. You're saying that's happening
it's
still?
Better now, because some of us drive 4 wheels
inside there.
So.
Okay, so are there plans to tar any of your roads?
Yes, with the kind of efforts I am signaling from His Excellency John Mahama, it seems this term is going to be one of the best terms in the life of Afram Plains.
But you've always been NDC. NDC has been in power for 30, out of the 30 years, you've done more than half.
I pray to bow my head in shame on that one.
Okay, you are in Eastern Region.
Exactly.
One of the few constituencies MPP has never won.
And will never win.
You are very confident?
Yes.
If they bring them third road, they will win.
Which they have not been able to.
So no roads, hospitals. What kind of hospital?
We have one hospital by the Presbyterian Mission.
Okay, not the Catholic. I thought it was Catholic. Okay.
No, it's Presbyterian.
In Donkokrom.
But it's so deprived now. Can you imagine the whole district has only one doctor, only one medical doctor.
And that's in Donkokrom.
No midwife.
That's in Donkokrom.
Exactly.
So if you're in any of the islands, do they have CHIPS compounds, small
compounds,
private hospitals?
By name, yes. But if I'm sincerely to tell you what CHIPS compounds mean by description, we do not have. You find a madhouse, or maybe the district had.
Please don't tell me it's a madhouse with thatched roof. Please don't tell me it's thatched.
It's not thatched, but
madhouse.
We have madhouses with zingli.
Old zingli.
Yes.
True. White zingli that has become brown.
But we have maintained that to our level, and that has been keeping us for these years. We hope to improve.
So you don't have block buildings, as in cement block?
I can point few blocks, not more than 5.
No, I'm talking about the health centers.
Yes, yes, health centers. So far, I think we have about 4.
In the whole constituency.
Yes, but you see, this we describe as health centers is being manned by one community health nurse.
So and you have issues of snake bites, don't you?
Exactly.
So if someone say Maina Rakoji, they're actually going to
So the people in the islands prefer boating to the Volta side of it than going to Donkokrom.
So you take a ferry from Donkokrom to where? In Volta region?
We have only one ferry, if it comes to the north, which plies between Agodeke and Pandotoko. And that, as we speak right now, is in that so much deplorable state where it works 3 days and it doesn't go. Sometimes I'll be in Accra, I have to drive down to Pandotoko because our pontoon is missing.
Missing how?
Yes, the wind, the engine is off, the wind blows it, and we go find it at Biakuye.
On the river, so it's on the Volta River.
It can be there. There was one, even before election, there was one time it stayed on the river for 3 days. Because the wind had been blowing for 3 days continuously, and no boat was able to bring it back. So
your ferry is not operated by an engine. It's operated by an engine.
It's operated by an engine, but the engine is off.
So they have to look for a boat to go and pull it and bring it back.
We tie it to boats, and then
is it owned by VRA or is privately owned?
It's owned by Volta Lake Transport,
which is like the one you have in Yeji, Dambai, and all of those ones.
Yeah.
So those ferries that like the one that was at Senchi, which used to cross with people.
Exactly so.
Is yours that big?
It's big.
So you can take cars.
That route is the longest you can cross with the river. In fact, it takes 2 hours to cross.
Does it take cars?
Yes, take cars.
Okay, so market days in your place, this is what people come with?
Yes.
What are your market days? Do you have a single day in the week or every other day?
Those who use the pontoon mostly are not market people. They are workers and let's say truck drivers who buy goods from Donkokrom and its environs, cross to Pando and bring to Accra.
So if you're coming to Accra from Donkokrom, even though it's in Eastern region, it's better for you to go through Volta region than
if you go through Volta region, that would have been the best and shortest.
Okay, if I were from Accra going to Afram Plains North, where do I use the Suhum Kumasi road or I go through?
So when you use the Suhum Kumasi Nkoko,
yes,
and Praiso Kwewa Doso,
yeah, then
you cross to Echiam. You cross with a ferry to Echiam from. Then you are in Afram Plains South.
Okay.
So you go to Afram Plains South and at Sementia, TRC. TRC is the capital.
About TRC?
No, TRC.
Just TRC. Okay.
Yes. Then you cross. Once you cross Sementia, you are in the north.
But you're saying that it's easier to cross the Volta and go through Pando?
Yes. If you cross through Pando for 2 hours, then you are in the north. So from the WAF, the docking area, to Donkokrom is about 10-15 minutes drive.
Can a private ferry owner do this business on the river like you're having this Volta?
I'm a serious advocate of that.
But you don't have? Do you have any example anywhere on the lake where someone is having a private?
It has always been Volta Lake Transport, and no private entity had tried that venture.
But do you know if it's allowed?
That is what I have not found out yet.
Because I'm thinking if it's allowed, it's business. Someone should be able to do that.
I think
maybe you should consider when they give you your car loan. Don't use it to buy a car. Go and buy
combine harvester.
No, but don't buy combine harvester. You're not Okujeto Black one. Go and buy ferry and put it on your river.
That would be misapplication, misappropriation, and whatever.
The Office of Special Prosecutor will come for you.
They
say they gave you money to buy V8. You went to buy ferry. I think you can actually buy a ferry.
Well, I'll seek the speaker's permission if it's allowed.
Please do, and I'll be happy to come and celebrate with you when you're opening. Okay. So transport both inland and on river is not that good, and it's not even safe.
It's not good at all, because even where the ferry is, only a little population of the inland get used to it. Afram Place is spread and so lengthy, especially the north. We share border with Upper Manya,
okay,
Lower Manya, Esojaman.
So I could go to your place through Asesewa. That's Upper Manya.
Yes.
Lower Manya being Bong and those places.
Those places.
Odumasi.
Odumasi. Then you could go to Akosombo Marine.
Okay. So Esojaman.
Yes. Then you could go to Dodi.
Dodi Pepper Soup.
Yeah, Pepper. Then you go to Germany.
Okay.
Then you go to Pando, Aveme, Beme.
So you are between Oti region, Volta region, Eastern region,
and
Ashanti
and Bono.
Bono region.
Sene East. Yes.
That's very big.
Very big.
So it's a big but very poor. Okay, I can't say poor because I'm going to get to the resources that you have. So road not good, transport bad. You said that your health facilities, of course, also not very good, and people will not be encouraged to go. Doctors will not be happy to go there. That's why you have only one doctor.
As well.
Education. How many schools? Do you have a secondary school?
We have 4 secondary schools.
4 secondary schools.
Yes.
All of them in Donkokrom or other places?
Other places.
Other places.
2 in Donkokrom and 1 in that's the fisheries in Amankwa-Krom, and then the E block.
So government owned?
Government owned.
Government owned. And basic schools, of course, you would have a lot.
We have a lot.
So schooling is not a problem?
It's a big problem.
How?
We still have schools under trees.
Okay.
We still have, and most of the schools, especially in the island, are mud walls, with Zingli.
People don't know what Zingli is. I think they call it zinc in English. But we in
roofing sheet.
Your area
Iron sheet.
Your area is ever?
Yes, predominantly ever, but traditionally Kwewu.
Oh, so it's Kwewu land.
Yes.
Okay. So education, what you need is schools out of the trees. The schools there should be physical structures.
That's right.
But I'm sure you have mud buildings with.
We have mud buildings which are community labeled.
With thatch, or you have roofing sheet?
At least we have managed to help the communities by our individual powers to change the thatches into iron sheets.
In February 2022, Parliament approved a €350 million contractual agreement for the construction of a bridge over the Afram River and 124 kilometers of roads within the Afram Plains. These include the Adosu, Bunso, and Eche Amanfo roads. However, progress has stalled. Can the Member of Parliament tell us the state of the project?
Yes, that was news. When I was also vying to be a parliamentarian, it was news I heard and I was happy. But with the advent of the 9th Parliament, it seems it was just news in the air, but to the actuality of it, I can testify.
You have not seen the contract?
Nothing.
Please look for it. You can go to the Hansdas department, they'll give it to you. And then you can go to Government Assurances Committee and go and tell them to go and help you find it. Which committees are you on, by the way?
I'm on the Communication Committee and then the Private Member Bill and Motions Committee.
You don't need that for your place. Communication, then maybe you can send them telephone.
Rural telephony. Rural telephony.
But private members bill, they are from places.
Well, the criteria of putting members in Parliament is what I cannot testify. So what I'm given, I take it and I work with it.
Because you are an orphan, you are a returnee, so you should be grateful. They could have decided to bully you and just let you be. You are lucky. You should be grateful to God. Residents, farmers, drivers, and traders in Afram Plains have called on the president to fulfill his commitment to construct a bridge over the Afram River and improve road infrastructure. Did the president promise this?
Yes, that's during the Kwewu Business Forum. I was there myself, and he made it emphatically one of his legacies is going to leave before his 4-year term. And I think...
Are you sure it can be done? Will it be done?
Yes, a follow-up just the Monday after the Saturday. The road minister and some contractors were there to have a view of the road, and I think last 2 weeks when I was traveling there, I could see that some foreign engineers were having visibilities and tests being done along the riverbed.
What kind of water do you have there? Do you have Ghana Water Company water, or people go and fetch water by the river?
We only have this rural water sanitation project, which is very, very minimal.
So is it borehole or they use the river?
It's borehole.
Borehole. So that's what is piped into communities and
that's
homes.
Right.
So water is
at
also
a limited space. So some go to the lake with these tricycles
to go and
fetch water.
So water is also an issue that you would need to be fixed.
A very big issue.
Electricity has been done.
10%.
10% of the whole constituency.
Yes, and this 10% is due to the fact that VRA resettled some communities there, like the Amankwa Krom, the Internal Boma, and then the Memchamfre communities. So it was forced within that contract to send electricity along those lanes. So apart from those lanes, if you are not a community within that lane, you will not have electricity.
You will not have electricity. Anyone who is listening to us tonight, who is interested in coming to invest or coming to do business in your constituency, what do you produce? You are an agrarian area. What do you do?
Exactly so, agrarian.
So you do what crops?
Maize, yam, and now cassava.
So if I want to bring cassava, come and buy cassava and come to sell in Ashaiman market or Madina market, I can come there.
Now you would not get.
Why?
Because there's an established industry in the south now that is buying cassava for starch and other products. But even that one, from my checks, they are only using a quarter of their capacity because they cannot get a lot of cassava.
But you produce a lot of this?
Not a lot. The people of Afram Plains were industrious in the days past, but because of lack of technology and push, most of them have just reduced to subsistence farming.
At the end of your tenure, first term,
yeah,
what's the one thing that you want to say, Kweli came and Kweli fixed this?
Let me answer that in two ways. I have divided my goals into two. The ones I pray for government to fulfill maybe by my advocacy and whatever. But there's one that I teach. The one that I teach is self-sufficiency in agriculture. And so I am opening the minds of the people to what we can do for ourselves before waiting for what government can do for us. And you see, if I'm sufficient in my home and I can sell acres of cassava to the factory, I should be able to purchase a solar lantern. So energy will not be my problem.
Okay.
Traveling to Volta to go to hospital if I'm sick will not be my problem. But without that and government does not intervene, then I am the one dying. So I have prepped the people to accept the fact that what we have here is agri, and then we must do best in it. And therefore I have poached big farming industries companies into our farm place now, who are about to set up. GB Foods is right in the middle of our farm place now. Nana Rice, Agro King. If you go to my Facebook page, you can see them now constructing a road round the Dwarf Island where they can set up a rice farm over 30,000 acres.
Oh, you have rice over there too?
The land is good for everything.
But you don't have cocoa?
It used to have cocoa.
Okay.
But the forests have been depleted, therefore cocoa grows no more.
Okay.
Then there are other, A&M from US is now exploring another part which would use about 50,000. I think we have also identified a place for Ghana 24-hour economy farm projects, and many more that are chancing on the resources of Afram Place right now as we speak.
Honorable Wallace Ikpeli, Member of Parliament, Afram Place North, thank you for joining us on Point Blank tonight.
Thank you.
Your friend, Prince Henry in Koforidua, says I should say hello to you and that God bless you plenty. I don't know. He's
one of the NDC's
communicators. Yes, he said I should send his regards to you.
Okay.
Maybe when you're going to your consumer, you can pass by Koforidua and buy him beef Foster.
That's fine.
God bless you. Thank you so much. I wanted to ask what they offered you before you accepted to caucus with them, but I don't think.
I actually did not wait for an offer.
You now went to say that my hands are up, I'm ready, I want to work with you.
No, I mean with the parliamentary positioning. Before the sitting continues, you might be part of a caucus.
Okay.
And I choose to be part of the majority caucus.
Are you hoping for?
As for any other office, leadership, I may say, is working, and we are working with them too.
Are you hopeful of a ministerial position? President Mama still has 4 to go.
I'm hopeful for anything. I can work at anything.
Very well.
But I didn't promise my people ministerial position before going to parliament.
So you do.
So let me focus on work, and when it is time for me to handle a ministerial post,
Akpe,
I will.
Moneira.
Akpe now.
Yo. That's Honorable Member of Parliament for Afram Plains North, Walasi Ikpeli, speaking to me on Eyewitness News. Tonight, I am Umaru Sandamadu. We'll be back tomorrow at 17:30 GMT. Have a good night.